Our friend Mike Somich joins us on Twitter at SomObama18. VSiN Racing Dudes. He'll be on Mad Dog Sports Radio coming up on Saturday during the Belmont from Saratoga. We absolutely love that. Mike, welcome back to the show. What's going on?
Not too much, Nick. Trying to channel the Costos cut here. That's what I was going for when I got the high fade, growing the beard out like you and Femi. So just trying to fit in on the show right now.
Well, I went upstairs, so I'm doing this, no one cares. They will care because I'm going to insult myself. I'm doing this, trying like a new hair, so growing my hair out, and I'm slicking it back a little bit. I haven't seen my wife today. She was out with my daughter, like visiting a friend, a play date for my daughter. I go upstairs, she sees my hair and goes, "It looks like a helmet."
Welcome to marriage.
Mike, I gotta tell you, man, it's not what you want. Before we get to bets for the Belmont, and definitely want to get your thoughts on the Stanley Cup Final as well, you have watched probably, like, literally 10,000 more horse races than I have in my life. Is it hyperbole to say that the Preakness was the best horse? I mean, I'm saying it sounds hyperbolic. Was it at least one of the best horse races, Mike, that you have ever watched?
Yes, it was. And it was the most unique horse race I have probably ever watched. Because if you ask me, like, the best races I've ever watched, they all involve two horses head and head down the stretch, just banging back and forth, trying to just outwill the other horse. With what we saw in the Preakness, it was just so unique because you never see a horse play bumper cars like journalism did around that far turn, try and squeak through a hole, and then be able to re-rally. What was so impressive is you had Salmon on the outside, a length ahead of journalism, before journalism kicked it back into high gear, and then still able to run down Gosker there in the final furlong. The only race you can even come close to compare it to from a troubled trip perspective would be when Fleet Alex won the Preakness back in the early 2000s. He almost went down to a knee and then was able to kind of continue going. But he was on the lead when all of that happened. This is a situation where journalism had to make up significant ground in a short period of time when switching from high gear down to low gear and then finding the heart to be able to switch it back into high gear and run down Gosker. So phenomenal horse race, definitely a 101, right? Like, go watch the 1989 Preakness Stakes where Sunday Silence and Easy Go were bang heads. Phenomenal horse race, but you don't see that level of athleticism from a horse and that will to win like you saw from journalism a couple weeks ago at Pimlico.
I'd like to have an honorable mention here, like a dark horse, like pun not intended, candidate, which was 2019 in the Preakness when Bodie Express ran the race without a jockey. Like, threw the jockey off. It was honestly, the horse was like, F it, I don't need a jockey. Like, I got this. I'm doing it myself. I laughed that entire race, Mike. That was the stuff of legend.
Hey, when you can toss 100 pounds off your back, it makes it a lot easier to do your job, doesn't it? I mean, so Bodie Express, another one where he's like, screw it. I don't need to deal with this jockey. And it shows you these horses know what they're doing. The jockeys just help them kind of cruise through specific holes when they're trying to cut through horses. But these horses very much understand they're out there to race. They're out to the run, and they love running.
Yeah, and everything that comes with it. There's no creature, like human or animal, on the planet that is a better life than these like the prized racehorses. It's unbelievable. All right, let's get to the prized racehorses. Every guest that we've had on this week, Mike, to talk Belmont, right? They all say it's the three at the top, and then I'm going to ask, like, is there a long shot? Do you agree that it's either journalism, sovereignty, and Baeza? And if so, which of the three do you like the most?
I don't. I do think there are three horses. I think there's two at the top and a third that's kind of under the radar. The one that I think is worthwhile paying attention to. I don't like Sovereignty at all in this race. I picked him in the Derby. I thought the setup was perfect for him in the Derby, where he had a ton of pace to chase, and he is going to get the trip that was setting up for him to be able to succeed. I don't see a lot of routes to Sovereignty being able to win the Derby here. He's rested, so he's coming back, and I would expect him to run well. But when you go back and you watch his Florida Derby, that was a race that did not have a ton of pace at a two-turn distance with a normal-sized stretch at 1 1/8. And Tappan Street just got the jump on him, and he could not run down Tappan Street. Every way I see this race playing out in my head, he's not able to run someone down up front. So I think Sovereignty actually probably the fourth, maybe fifth most likely horse to win. I do think this sets up beautifully for Baeza. If you look at how the pace is going to set up, you've got Rodriguez in the 3, you've got Crudo in the 5. They're going to go. The horse in between them, Uncaged, is probably the third fastest horse with Baeza, but he's going to get pinched at the start. We've consistently seen these Bob Baffert horses, when they're inside speed, like the number 3 Rodriguez is, break out from the gate and then move out toward the outside to be able to float the rest of the field wide. The one horse that mainly affects is the 4 Uncaged, and the horse that it benefits is actually the 6 Baeza, who should be able to just tuck into the rail and chase the speed around the far turn and get the best possible trip. If you fast forward to the top of the stretch, you're still going to have Crudo and Rodriguez. Crudo probably backing off, not nearly as good of a horse as Rodriguez. And then Baeza just sitting in the catbird seat, waiting to pounce on those top two. Journalism will be behind him. Sovereignty will be behind him. And I think Baeza makes the front and does not get caught coming down the lane. I think Baeza is the horse to beat here in the Belmont Stakes.
Wow, Baeza going off at 4-1, and it's been a horse that we've heard about a lot dating back to the Kentucky Derby. Gets in after Rodriguez got scratched. Baeza always seen as like the dangerous kind of a horse, and we'll see if that comes to fruition Saturday at the Belmont Stakes. All right, so if you like Baeza, how are we putting together the Superfecta? Like we need Baeza, we'll bet that to win it, but we also want to win the big jackpot. So what's the Superfecta for this weekend?
I don't think it's a crazy one where you can just go long shot hunting. I do think that this is a situation where if any price hits, I think it's going to be the One Hill Road, who's there on the inside. I'm going to put him in the 3rd and 4th spots, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Baeza on top. That's the number 6 horse. I do think the two most logical second place finishers here are the number 7 Journalism, and I'm going to have a 6-7 Exacta Cold because I do like that Exacta quite a bit. I think Rodriguez is the other logical second place finisher in this spot. He's going to be able to set the pace. If Crudo decides not to push early, I think Rodriguez is very dangerous being loose out on the lead, and I think only one horse may get by him, and that being Baeza. So I'll put the 6 in the 1st spot. I'll put the 3 Rodriguez and the 7 Journalism in the 2nd spot. And then in the 3rd and 4th spots, I'll put the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 7. So it'll be 6 with 3, 7 with 1, 2, 3, 7 with 1, 2, 3, 7. I'll be playing that for $5, and it'll cost you $40.
Mike, you knew to do it like that also, like Kramer doing movie phone. Outstanding. So in addition to, and like we've done this with Mike when he's come on the show doing the Triple Crown races with us, in addition to being an absolute stud, a monster horse racing handicapper, again, hit the super for the Kentucky Derby, Mike also does really well betting the NHL and like knows the NHL like the back of his hand. Edmonton with a 1-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Final. Just for context, I'm on Edmonton. Femi's on Florida. Oilers are up 1-0. Where are you at right now? One game in, Mike, to the Stanley Cup Final. Thoughts on Game 2 and the rest of the series?
So I have a very small bet on the Panthers in the series. I don't have a huge opinion on this series because I do think these are two very even matched teams. I thought it was very impressive what Edmonton was able to do to really enforce their style on Florida during much of the game. Edmonton wants to get out. They want to play fast through the neutral zone and be able to carry the puck into their offensive zone. When they're able to do that, they're able to get consistent pressure on Florida. So if they're not dumping the puck in, if they're able to transition from defense to offense quickly, they are incredibly dangerous. Florida, on the other hand, they want to dump the puck in. They want to slam your defenseman against the board. They want to create those turnovers and those offensive opportunities off of those turnovers. And they were able to get into their game sometimes in Game 1. But there were just overwhelming moments where it was very impressive what we were able to see from the Edmonton Oilers offense. I'm someone who's just going to be taking pretty much plus money any chance I can get in this series. I like Florida in Game 2. I'll lay the goal and a half. So I'll go the reverse puck line in Game 2 with Florida here. You can get up to plus 250 right now if you lay the goal and a half with Florida. They're a very good road team, and I want to play outliers in a series that I think is going to be very close. These games are lined pretty close to what they should be. The home team should be a short favorite in every single one of these games. So I'm looking for opportunities to try and find ways to create bigger plus money prices. I also put a Sam Bennett Conn Smythe ticket in before this series started. He was leading the NHL in playoffs and goals heading into the series with 10. He had 2 in Game 1. He is still very live for Florida. I think this is going deep. I think we're going to consistently see higher scoring games versus lower scoring games. That eliminates Bobrovsky. And I don't think McDavid or Draisaitl will win the Conn Smythe if they lose this series. So I'd rather take a shot with Sam Bennett at 30-1 to win the Conn Smythe than even taking Florida plus 180 at this point to win the series. But this is one where I'll be taking overs pretty much the entire series, and I will be trying to find ways to get big plus money prices in these games.
Yeah, Bennett with the 2 goals last night, moving to plus 1,300. So, Mike, I think you definitely got the best of that with Sam Bennett prior to the series starting. Let's close with this in like 20 seconds. The Steelers are going to sign Aaron Rodgers. Win total 8.5. Here's $100. Bet over or under. What are you taking and why? 20 seconds.
I'm going to take the under. I actually like the under more with Aaron Rodgers than I liked it with the mess of a quarterback room that they had, because I don't see any way this doesn't blow up for Aaron Rodgers once again on the Steelers. So give me the under.
Well, you're wrong about a lot. The Belmont stuff sounds really good. Everything else I disagree with. The reverse puck line tomorrow with Florida. Come on, man. Mike is the
Watch
best.
out, Canada.
Fine prices. Don't be taking plus 112. Take the plus 250 if you like Florida.
I used to work at Mad Dog Sports Radio, and I like a lot of the people there, so I won't make the joke that I probably should be making right now. But Mike will be killing it on Mad Dog Sports Radio coming up on Saturday during the Belmont. Mike, we appreciate it. Stay well. We'll talk to you soon.